A galaxy of learned intellectuals, scholars, friends, and dear beloved students. This is Suresh Bhardwaj. Good morning to all of you. I am with here phrases and idiomatic expressions. The uses of part C, uses of prepositional phrases. Set first. Prepositional. You might have read, you might have learned about verb phrases, and the next that is prepositional phrases. Uses of prepositional phrases के विषय में हम इसका कुछ some of the prepositional phrases I would like to write here and would like to use in different sentences. More very common, very means common, practically used during your communication. Prepositional phrases are used. Important prepositional phrases. So I am quite. Example here. I am quite at home in. At home in, prepositional phrase. I am quite at home in English or Urdu or Sanskrit. I mean to say quite home, at home in, that means well up. Quite at home in, that means well up, prevail, Dutch. Suppose she is at home in music performances. Likely other sentences you may frame using this prepositional phrase. Right? She saved the drowning डूबते हुए child. She saved the drowning child at the risk of her own life. So at the risk of prepositional phrase, right? Risking, संकट में डाल करके. At the risk of, that means risking her life. Risking, संकट में डाल करके, risking. Now, at the risk of means risking her own life. That she saved the drowning child into the river. You can say at the risk of her own life. Next phrase, prepositional phrase, that is at the top of. On seeing the dacoits, he shouted and shouted at the top of his voice. Here you see, I'm saying the dacoits को देख करके he shouted at the top of his voice. अपनी आवाज की बहुत तेज आवाज में, means here very loudly. At the top of our voice means very loudly. In this sense, you may use in your own sentences. Next prepositional phrase. In your means first video, perhaps you might have learnt. That sure, certainly you might have learnt that idiomatic phrases and idiomatic expressions. in that video. Now, phrases, verb phrases. What is verb phrase? What is verb phrase? What is prepositional phrase? You might have learnt. So, third part C, that is of prepositional phrases and their uses. Next, prepositional phrase. We are at the mercy. At the mercy of God. We are at the mercy of God. Mercy of. At the mercy of. Daya par. At the mercy of means here daya par. I mean depending upon the grace of God. Mercy of God. We are depending upon the mercy of God, upon the grace of God. We are at the great mercy of God. So here we are just at the mercy of God. At the mercy of God, that is prepositional phrase. Therefore, the Kauravas and Pandavas. Kauravas and the Pandavas. Kaurava or Pandava were at Tiger's Dam. At Tiger's Dawn. With each other. With each other. Here you see at Tiger's Dawn. At Tiger's Dawn, that means bitterly hostile. Bitterly hostile. Shatruvat. Shatru, bitterly hostile. In this sense, at Tiger's Dawn, Kaurav पांडव एक दूसरे के शत्रु थे, बहुत तगड़े शत्रु थे. तो the Kauravas and Pandavas at Tiger's Dawn, at Tiger's Dawn, right? With each other, bitterly hostile with each other, against each other. Next, prepositional phrase. Let me use in other sentence. As long as, so long as. So long as, prepositional phrase. So long as, or as long as. As long as. Okay? So long as long as. I am here. I am here. None would harm, or none can do harm. None would do harm to you. जब तक मैं वहाँ हूँ तब तक. So long as long as. Now जब तक तब तक. I am here. मैं जब तक यहाँ हूँ. None would do harm to you. आपको कोई चुटेल नहीं करेगा. Means here जब तक. So long as long as means जब तक. Right? Who is at the helm of? Next word. Who is at the helm of? Helm. At the helm of affairs. Affairs कार्य in this office. In this office. Karta dharta at the helm of means karta dharta. At the helm. कौन है karta dharta? Here at the helm means karta dharta. सर्वे सर्वा of affairs in this office. इस ऑफिस में कौन करता धरता है? Right? Here is the interrogative sentence. Who is at the helm of affairs in this office? Next prepositional phrase, because of. Because of, okay, he gave up. Ram Shyam gave up. He gave up his studies. He gave up his studies because of karan se. Because of karan se. Because of his father's death. His father's death. Father's death. पिता की मौत के कारण से. तो because of that means on account of, कारण से, on account of. It is also a phrase, on account of, phrase, because of, phrase, on account of, कारण से. He gave up his studies because of his father's death. I climbed up the tree. पेड़ पर मैं चढ़ गया. I climbed up the tree. Okay. तो by means of a ladder. By means of a ladder. एक सीढ़ी के द्वारा. By means of means के द्वारा. You can say के द्वारा. सीढ़ी पर चढ़ गया मैं. सीढ़ी से पेड़ पर चढ़ गया. तो by means of a ladder means के द्वारा. By means of, that means के द्वारा. Here you have seen here so many idiomatic expressions and prepositional phrases used idiomatically in different sentences. You have seen here. Likely, dear, you may also use these phrases, prepositional phrases, in your own sentences. Okay, wish you all the best and brightest. Thanks a lot.